Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Movie Reviewers 100. My name is Scott, also known as Cineram. I do the Thursday videos here on this collaboration channel. And our theme this week is Harrison Ford, one of the biggest movie stars still working today. Of course, he's Han Solo from the Star Wars movies, and he's been in, Indiana Jones, of course, all the Indiana Jones films. We had a number of reviews already for his stuff on this channel. I'm sort of closing out the week. We've had guys talking about not only the Indiana Jones movies, but also The Fugitive, which was nominated for Best Picture back in '93, and Blade Runner, which is a classic science fiction film that he was in, and Witness, which is the only movie that he has been nominated for Best Actor for. Those were the videos done by the guys previously this week. I wanted to talk about a movie that's a bit of a change of pace for him, at least in terms of his overall career, which is a comedy he was in called Working Girl. It was also nominated for Best Picture in '88. It lost to Rain Man, and Rain Man's perfectly, deserving of its Best Picture Oscar. But this is actually a really good film. Melanie Grifffith is the main character. She plays Tess, who basically is trying to make a go of it in Manhattan. She's interested in becoming an executive handling mergers and acquisitions, but she's not taken very seriously. And it's very, very good casting to put someone like Melanie Grifffith in this part because of how she looks. She's very pretty, but not someone you would necessarily believe is like super intelligent right away. Her voice is extremely high and soft. So these physical characteristics make it more difficult for people, at least the other characters in the film, to take her seriously a lot of the time as someone who is smart and savvy. She ends up working for Sigourney Weaver, who is in the business of mergers and acquisitions, and she's her assistant. But Sigourney Weaver says, if you have ideas as to deals that could be made, if you spot an opportunity, please bring it to me. We'll put it to work. And I want your input on stuff like that. But as it turns out, one of the big ideas that Melanie Grifffith has, Sigourney Weaver ends up stealing and taking for herself and not giving Tess any credit at all. So when Sigourney Weaver is sidelined in a skiing accident, she's off on vacation, and ends up not being able to come back to work for several weeks, Tess takes it upon herself to make her to promote herself kind of to an executive, lie to people in other companies about what her position is at the firm, and start making deals of her own. And one of these is with a character named Jack Trainer, who's played by Harrison Ford. She spots a company that's in danger of being taken over by a Japanese corporation, so she has the idea of merging it with a radio network. So it's against the law for Japanese a company to buy into, at least it was at that time, a media network. So she and Harrison Ford end up working together and having a relationship. Well, as it turns out, Harrison Ford is actually Sigourney Weaver's ex. So when she gets back, and finds out what Tess has been doing, all hell breaks loose. I really enjoy this movie a lot, not only for the actors. Joan Cusack also is in this movie. She plays Melanie Grifffith's best friend. She's lots of fun, and she has a lot of great funny moments. During their first meeting, when Harrison Ford comes to Melanie Grifffith's office, or the office that Melanie Griffith is pretending to use, Joan Cusack has funny moments where she's pretending to be Melanie Griffith's secretary and brings him in and asks, "Can I get you anything, Mr. Trainer? Coffee, tea, me?" Yeah, but like I said, it's a change of pace kind of film for Harrison Ford. He isn't in that many comedies, and it's good to see him cutting loose every once in a while. He meets Melanie Grifffith at a party, and she tells him that she was feeling a little anxious earlier, so she took a Xanax or something like that. She said it gives you a nice little buzz, and he goes, "Ooh, I didn't know they let bad girls in here." It's just a much more lighthearted part for him. Normally, when you think of Harrison Ford, at least when I think of Harrison Ford as recent films, movies like Firewall, and he plays the Jack Ryan character in those movies, and some of the other dramas he's in, he's always just very serious and gruff, and doesn't really have that lightheartedness. He was in a film called Morning Glory a couple of years ago, which is a comedy in which he played a newscaster, or a morning show personality with Diane Keaton and Rachel McAdams, which I still haven't seen. But I thought it might be funny at some point. I had an idea a little while ago to do a video on Harrison Ford in which I talked about 4 of his movies. One from 1980, The Empire Strikes Back. One from 1990, Presumed Innocent, which was a legal drama. In 2000, the Zemeckis film he starred in with Michelle Pfeiffer called What Lies Beneath. And then 2010, Morning Glory, and just look at all 4 of them and see how he's progressed, I guess, or aged over the years. I didn't end up doing that, but I am going to be doing What Lies Beneath for my Zemeckis series, which I've just begun. I also wanted to mention, since I've been on vacation for a couple of weeks, I want to talk about some of the films that I've seen. The most enjoyable film I think I've seen over the past couple of weeks is Unknown, which is a Liam Neeson movie that came out last year. It's really bizarre. I saw the trailer for the movie and I just thought, well, that looks kind of interesting, but I didn't rush out to see it. And I really liked the movie a lot. I thought it was fun. He plays a guy who travels to Berlin with his wife and then gets into a car accident. And he gets confused about stuff. He tries to find his wife after he's been in a coma for a couple days, but she acts like she doesn't even know who he is. And Aidan Quinn plays a guy who has the same name as him. It's really, really strange. So he ends up running around trying to figure out what's happening. Is he going crazy? Is his memory distorted? There's some good fight scenes in this movie. There's a really good car chase. I haven't seen many good car chases in movies recently. The taxi driver, when he gets into an accident, she's played by Diane Kruger, and he visits her at her apartment, and then they get beset upon by some assassins, and then they escape from them, and they grab a car and drive and try and get away from them. That's a really good chase scene. But the best scene in the movie for me was one where he's trying to convince this doctor who he has conversations with before coming to Germany that he is actually who he says he is. He's Martin, whatever the guy's name is, Martin something or other. And Aidan Quinn is saying the exact same thing. No, I'm this guy, Martin. And they're both trying to recount a conversation that they had with a doctor months ago. And each of them is saying the exact same thing at the exact time, recounting exactly what he said. It's just really bizarre. And it's just like, what the heck is going on here? What is happening? Why are these guys so convinced that each of them is the Martin character? It's really strange. But it's a fun movie. I went to a midnight screening of The Room, the infamous Tommy Wiseau drama. That was a lot of fun because everyone was yelling at the screen. I saw Bachelorette with Kirsten Dunst and Isla Fisher. That was funny. I saw the latest Resident Evil movie, which I think is probably my least favorite Resident Evil movie, aside from perhaps the second one. I saw Battleship, which was actually more fun than I thought it would be. I saw Premium Rush with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That was okay. Wasn't crazy about it, but it was all right. And of course, I saw The Master, the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie. There were a bunch of movies that came out last weekend along with The Master. Dread and the new Clint Eastwood movie, and House on the End of the Street with Jennifer Lawrence, and Liberal Arts, and the 10 Years, which is a sort of high school reunion movie. A bunch of them. And I thought, geez, all these look really cool. I'm going to see them all. But the more I read about them, the less I wanted to see them. So I ended up not seeing very much. I may end up going to see End of Watch, which also came out last weekend. That's the cop thriller with Jake Gyllenhaal, Michael Pena. I may end up seeing that today. I'm not really sure. But I just want to catch you up on some of the stuff I've been watching lately. Thanks again for watching Harrison Ford Week. If you haven't seen the other guys' videos, please do. And leave comments and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be great. We start a new theme tomorrow. So I hope you'll tune in for that as well. Take it easy.